Pokrovsk in a cauldron where Russia is trying to surround it and close the sides of the cauldron in to isolate the Ukrainian troops that are stuck there. Ukraine has been defending it bravely for over a year now. This is another Bakhmut for the Russians. The Russians have been doing everything they can to try and close these edges of the cauldron in. And a couple of weeks ago, they launched a very ambitious raid that got through Ukrainian defences and penetrated tens of kilometres into Ukrainian-held territory. They found a way through. They moved in to produce a couple of salients up towards Vesele, but that's where they stopped. They clearly hadn't planned this in detail, because whenever you break through a defensive line, you need a follow-on force. So you create a toehold. You turn that toehold into a foothold. You turn that foothold into a bridgehead. And that bridgehead, you then use your forces to break out from it, as the Allies did in Normandy after D-Day. The Russians couldn't produce sufficient mass to take that toehold into a foothold, into a bridgehead, and then to exploit it. The Ukrainians responded with their new military structures, their Azov Corps. The Corps provided a maneuver capability, and they used one of their maneuver brigades to come in and to cut off the Russian advances and to blunt what it was that we're trying to do and isolate the Russians that had moved into Ukrainian-held territory. And there's increased reporting to suggest that that maneuver capability is cutting more than just the head off the Russian incursion, but cutting off some of the elements that are the edges of the cauldron that the Russians were trying to close. More will develop on that over the days and weeks to come. But why do I say it's the Russian main effort on the ground? It's because the Russians have invested so much time, so many personnel into trying to capture this area, and Pokrovsk is key to the capture of the rest of the Donetsk Oblast. The Donetsk Oblast is the one element where Russia doesn't own everything that's in the disputed Donbass region. Vladimir Putin himself has put this as something that is critically important for him. And that is why the indicators suggest that this will remain Russia's main effort in its battle to try and push the Ukrainians. Of course, UK Defence Intelligence has said to move from Pokrovsk through the rest of the uncaptured element of the Oblast could take at least 4 years, and another 1.9 to 2 million personnel dead or wounded on the Russian side. And they've based those calculations on the rate of advance that the Russians have made since their full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022.